Hello everyone, Oscar here. I think you have noticed that I have been a little bit less present in the last couple of months, and it has to do with the main topic of this video, which is how does a disease like depression can affect our running life and our overall running life, everyday life. Let's start with a couple of caveats. First of all, I'm not doing this video in order to call for attention or to play victim. I am aware that everyone has difficulties in life, and this is just the one that I happen to have to deal with. Second of all, I am not a medical advisor. I can only speak as a patient. And I've been dealing with this for about 8 years now, so I've had my fair share of evolution and issues, even if I find out my symptoms, so I still know a little bit, but I'm not by any means a medical advisor. And now that we say this, we can move on to our first part of the video. Let's go! First of all, what type of depression do I have? There are several types of depression. The most common are depressive episodes due to lack of vitamin D in winter or a temporary stage of life where someone feels depressed and might or might not need medication in order to get the body back into a good balance of hormones. Usually after using this medication as psychological therapy for at least 4 to 6 months, the symptoms in theory subside and the patient goes back to a normal life after tapering out the medication. When the symptoms come back after stopping the medication several times, then you can think of a major chronic depressive disorder. I tried 4 times after different treatment lengths, and the symptoms always came back. So yeah, I guess I classify as a patient with major chronic depressive disorder. And just to let you know, there is depression that is even worse than that because it's even resistant to treatment. And after that, you need to do some experimental therapies like ketamine, electronic shocks, many more things. That's a very shitty place to be in. So even if I don't feel lucky for having this, could be even worse. The symptoms. Why am I telling you about this in the video? Well, because the symptoms that I get are tough at best and disabling at worst. Remember, others might feel different, but what I feel generally is a progressive weakness that advances every day. The feeling of not recovering despite sleeping and eating as normal. Pain and inflammation of my muscles, as well as an overall rigidity in my back. All these symptoms won't go away, but worse with time. They make me even more depressed, so it creates a sense of doom and anxiety, and then it becomes a vicious cycle. Because I feel even worse, then I feel again anxiety and depression, and then it goes on and on and on. This is of course completely horrible because it stops me from thinking clearly and from doing pretty much anything. This is why I say it can be disabling. And the thing is, just try harder will not work. Because this comes from the balance of the hormones of the brain. We don't have enough information to say exactly even why the medicine works the way it does today, at least to my knowledge. How have I dealt with the treatment? Imagine having all those symptoms and not even knowing what it was. It took around 2 years to find out that I had depression. It was in Mexico, as the doctor in France do not have the best cure for this type of diseases. They can be very good for the easy type of diseases like a flu or a very hard disease like cancer, but everything between where you have to go and search through what you actually have, the system is not good for that. So that's why I started treatment in Mexico. I began to take Pristiq and Quetiapine with different doses, and then I began to feel better, for example, 1 hour per day. And then it was after 4 or 6 months I began to actually feel good enough to do professional work and have an actual life. As a good and healthy mind would do, I tried to reduce the amount of meds by a very low amount after 6 months of feeling well. And this did not really work. I tried again after a longer period and it did not work again. I tried again, and you get the picture. So now I take them permanently, at least for the next, I don't know how many years to go. And I had been taking the medicine, Pristiq and Quetiapine. Then I missed 1 dose, which normally would be fine. It happens every 4 to 6 months to me. Normally I would just take the pill back and it would just be 2 weeks and I'll feel good again. But something strange happened this time. I was not getting better. In fact, I was getting worse. The symptoms began to come back very slowly but accelerating. So I spoke with my French psychiatrist, which sent out tests to see if there was nothing else that was causing the side effects. And basically, the only thing that could be slightly under was vitamin A and D, which also can do something for the energy, but it was the same feeling as when I had depression. It's nothing so simple. And so after 2 weeks of trying to do what they said, I went to Mexico, which I had planned even without depression. I was just going there to see my dad, and I began to feel even worse, which made no sense. So I went and I saw my Mexican doctor, who is a great neurologist at a private hospital, and it took him about 10 minutes to understand that after 5 years, the meds began to not be effective. And then he asked me, "Do you have again the bad thoughts?" And I was like, "How the hell did you know? I mean, how the H did you know?" And for him, this is the differentiator between vitamin deficiency versus medication not being useful anymore. He told me that my neural connections were not happening, like there was something with the neurons and the way that I communicate. And he gave me a new treatment, which I just started. It's been about 4 weeks, and I do feel better, but this disease requires a lot of patience. It affected everything that I did. I had to go from enjoying what I do into the minimum requirement to coexist with my society, which means that I had to only see a few friends because I really couldn't have the energy to talk to everyone. I had to diminish the amount of activities that I was going to go with my dad to do. So in the end, we just did which was really essential. And basically, I went also into something happens that I go into eating mode. So I ate a little bit more when I'm recovering from depression. And after I feel better, I stop eating, and that's when everything goes back to normal. So this is just a few things. And I also had to balance this out because that was my holidays in Mexico. I came back, I'm working, and now I have also to make sure that at my work, I do my best. So I'm taking my medicine exactly in the middle of work so that I can have I have 3 types of meds. I take one in the morning, one in the lunch, one in the night. And I try to take the one in the lunch exactly at midday at work to make sure that I'm still performant. And when I go back home about 8 p.m., I feel like I'm very tired, but at least I did the essentials for now. And of course, I still need to do with Masha, the runnings and everything. So I wish I could do more, but with this, I really can't. So every time I go to a race, it feels amazing to be able to do it because you can even forget that you have this depression stuff. Depression is a hard disease on everyone, not only the patient, but also those around him. This is also where you can see who can really handle you on your worst, to which I'm extremely grateful and thankful to see that there are at least as many people as I can count on my hands. And I wanted to share this because thanks to Masha, the doctor, my family and friends, I'm still here able to do races and trying to have the best life experiences. I'm hoping that this can also reach out to anyone who has this disease. If you still feel bad, you can always look for more help. I have tried a couple of medications. I've had very ups and downs, and honestly, it's a hard battle, but still something that you can try to get more weapons against. And I started this YouTube channel with Masha to share it with the world. Not my depression, but the running and all the experiences that we're having, and also to have something to see for the days where I forget about the epic things that we've done. On the last race, 2 of you stopped Masha to speak about the CC race, and that was an amazing moment for both of us because we're still doing the channel and running and working at the same time. This is proof that even with this disease, we can have great moments and share them with fun, good people, and this is ultimately our final objective. Thank you for watching this channel. I promise that I will come back with more videos and more fun stuff, but for now, since I'm not feeling really well, I really had to, to share it out and to speak about it a little bit more. So I hope that you continue watching the channel, and we'll be back with the race in Nice, which is happening this weekend. So, see you!